right? Designing a product versus the management of the process. You get what I mean? So just keep that in mind. If you stay on the management piece, you'll be fine. And that's what Sandra and I are going to show you guys, what exactly constitutes the project management piece.
Is that in the material?
Yes, for today, yeah. So that first slide deck that I'm showing you, let me get rid of this. That first slide deck over here, this has got a lot of the details. You know, we're trying not to overwhelm you by jumping straight into it. So are you guys ready for some like deeper stuff now that will kind of put you in the hot seat? All right, so let's talk about these processes, because I think people would like to know more about the 49 processes. So we'll come back to these slides eventually, but Sandra, let's talk a little bit more about the knowledge areas, and then we'll talk about all of the processes, like at a very high level. So
Sure.
we'll kind of go back and forth. So maybe you can start off with. Actually, let's start off with the bottom. Can you do the bottom first, the stakeholder, and we go up to the top?
Sure. So this knowledge area is a little bit how the PMBOK guide is organized. The integration management starts with chapter 4, so there's a chapter for each one of these areas. I'm going to start down here with stakeholder management. And you're managing their stakeholder engagement as well. So with a stakeholder, those are people that care about what's going on with your project. It might be the person that wants the deliverable. It might be the person paying for it. It might be a coworker because they want that to enable their project to go on. A key thing here is identify who are your stakeholders. Who are you dealing with? And so as we go into stakeholder management, the first thing we do is we identify them. And these will be processes later, but just thinking through it, somebody had once said, well, this is just kind of common sense. It can be common sense if you've done it before, but there's some good processes that you follow, and this puts a structure behind it. And most of us engineering type or technical people like structure and processes. So identify who they are, figure out what interests they have, figure out how you're going to communicate with them and keep them informed. Make sure they maintain engaged. Have you ever been in a meeting where you've got some higher management in the room and you're trying to present your project, you've been doing really well, and you're up there and you're talking, and somebody over there is kind of like, or maybe they're on their phone or they're on their laptop doing something else. They really don't seem to be engaged and interested in what you're presenting, and they're the reason you're there presenting. So it happens, and sometimes it's because they've got something else going on and there's really no way around it. And maybe they've got confidence in you and this is just a formality. Or maybe you don't have their interest. And maybe that's why they're not paying attention. And it's really important to understand the differences so that you can manage them, keep them engaged throughout the entire project.
Absolutely. So your stakeholders need to be engaged. The next one above this is procurement management. This has to do with managing contracts and procurement. So on every project, you're probably going to think, what do I need to buy from external to the firm? Z?
So I have a question about this stakeholder management.
Sure.
Sure.
Do you have any kind of template that you can share with us?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there's a lot of templates online in different places. Just give you a heads up, we're going to have a photo session in a few seconds. And that's one of our stakeholders. We want him to be happy so we can see the photos. So welcome, welcome. We're ready for you. Just shoot away and make sure you get our good sides, you know, when you... Oh dear, the mystery of the ship photos that no one ever sees. You know, I've been in 8 of these over the past 8 years, and I'm always looking for the photos. They always go missing. But procurement management will come after we get done with this. So let's go back to this. Z was asking for a template. I'm going to give you guys a link. And the link, who works for Hormel again? Okay, so there's a, I don't know, their competitor, Sigma Foods, you know? So I went to train them once, and they wanted templates like what Z is asking for. So I ended up creating a hot link. It has the words Sigma in it, but it's not for Six Sigma, it's for Sigma Foods. So whenever you go, they just think, oh, they are competitors. Okay, it's tinyurl.com. I use a lot of tiny. Oh, it's tiny.cc. I use a lot of tinies. tiny.cc/Sigma. And Jeremy, they had a PMO. They had a project management office. So the hot link is tiny.cc/Sigma PMO. Maybe we can change that to Hormel PMO.